What's up, guys? Welcome to Casually Opinionated, where we talk about everything you want to know and everything that matters in pop culture and current events. And today we're talking movies, but more specifically, we're taking a look at Zack Snyder's Justice League and just how big of a deal the release of this movie is. We're also taking a look at the first version of Justice League and how Warner Brothers' interference just caused that movie to go completely off the rails. We're also gonna take a little look back at some of movie studios' interference with a couple other high profile movies. So let's get into it. So, like I mentioned a couple of seconds ago, Zack Snyder's Justice League just came out on HBO Max, and it also released in movie theaters, I believe, but no one's trying to go to any movie theaters right now. I'm sure you know what Justice League is all about, so I'm not really gonna break down or give any synopsis about the movie. And this release is essentially a director's cut of the film. But Warner Brothers' interference was so heavy when it came to this that this is essentially a completely different movie. We'll get into that in a second, but for now, let's take a look at some studios meddling with some feature films. We're made to believe that studio tampering at its core comes from the studio's need to edit movies that they feel are a bit too risque for the target audience, but in actuality, it's all about what they feel can hurt them financially. Key plot points were removed from 2005's Kingdom of Heaven when Warner Brothers ordered about 40 minutes to be cut from the runtime. For the record, Ridley Scott released a director's cut of the film, and people loved it. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was ruined when Columbia decided they wanted to have more villains in the movie because I guess they just thought it'd be better. Didn't work out that way. Suicide Squad, a movie about a team of supervillains, went through a ton of reshoots to add scenes that were lighthearted and comical. The studio did this to Deadpool and X-Men Origins Wolverine so that it didn't detract from Hugh Jackman. And apparently there was this really interesting storyline they could have went with where Wolverine had PTSD from all the wars that he fought throughout the years, but the studio decided against it. And just blame the studios for this shit right here.
Mario. Last name? Mario. Okay, what's your name? Luigi. Luigi? No, Luigi Mario. Okay, look, how many Marios are there between the two of you? There's three. It's Mario, and Luigi Mario.
20th Century Fox rewrote Josh Trank's screenplay for Fantastic Four without his permission or involvement, and they reshot numerous scenes that they weren't okay with. There was one redeeming quality about this movie, though. Did Dr. Doom just use the Force? Anyway, Zack Snyder's ordeal was a lot like Josh Trank's, just taken up a notch. Snyder stepped away months before Justice League was set to release, after his daughter lost her bout with depression and took her own life. He originally had a 4-hour epic pretty much done, and it was allegedly supposed to be split into 2 movies. He tried to come back, but ultimately decided to step away for good to be with his family. Joss Whedon, known for his work on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Avengers, stepped in to finish the project, which ended up being a bunch of reshoots. The movie was even cut down from its original runtime of 4 hours to 2 hours, and it was said that the footage was made up of 25% Snyder shot, and 75% reshoots. Even the things that were done by Snyder were messed with in one way or another. Some of these things included strange plot lines that contradicted the rest of the film, Cyborg's entire story arc, the original composer was fired, no Darkseid, a crucial character in the Justice League origin story, corny jokes, and character remodeling. And most notably, Superman's face was reanimated to hide a mustache that Henry Cavill had grown for a role he had in Mission Impossible, and he was obligated to keep the mustache. They did a good job with that one. Not long after that train wreck was released, #released a Snyder Cut became a thing and was seen on billboards and bus stops all over the place. #released a Snyder Cut became sort of an acknowledgement of artistic integrity and speaking out against studio interference when it comes to a director's vision. And on top of that, a fraction of every dollar earned from the Release the Snyder Cut movement went toward suicide prevention in honor of Zack Snyder's daughter. Snyder even released photos from scenes we never saw in Justice League, but there were people who were still denying the Snyder Cut's existence.
I know enough of what's going on behind the scenes to know that, guys, there's no Snyder Cut. It's impossible to put together.
The Snyder Cut, that like imaginary unicorn that you guys think is out there, yeah, that doesn't exist.
They want the Zack Snyder Cut, which probably doesn't exist, to be released. This will never happen.
2 years into the Release the Snyder Cut movement, Jason Momoa drops a bombshell.
You're always going to be indebted to Zack. Zack Snyder's your
Totally,
guy.
man.
He changed
Totally.
your life.
Totally.
So is that partially why when we spoke about a year ago and I brought up the Snyder Cut, you're like, yeah, I need to see that?
Yeah, absolutely. But I have seen it, so.
I've
seen the Snyder Cut, so.
So what does that mean? Because the effects aren't done. Like you've seen his assemblage of footage and alternate takes, etc.
Oh, do you think Zack couldn't finish it? You don't think he?
I don't know. You tell me. He's finished.
I mean, listen, man. Next question.
Do you think we'll ever see it? Do you think the public will ever see it at this point? Because it seems like it's actually the groundswell has grown. And a year ago, I would have had my doubts.
You know, I'm obviously indebted to Warner's and DC, and you know, I don't know how they feel about it, but I mean,
right.
As a fan, I'm very, very happy that I got to see it.
Snyder invited some Warner Brothers execs over to his house to see his version of Justice League, and although it was still unfinished, it was still a movie that people have been wanting to see for years. Plus, with the pandemic still running rampant, movie studios are still pretty much closed. In May 2020, it was announced that the movie would be released under the name Zack Snyder's Justice League, and here we are. I'm almost as excited as these guys.
See that shit? See that shit? You put it out there. You believe that? Releasing the Snyder Cut? HBO Max, man, I can't believe it. It's happening, finally. Release the Snyder Cut. Give it!
Yeah, I mean, shout out to all you guys. Shout out to the support, especially the support that you've given the Snyders for Autumn and for their family. I know they appreciate it beyond. Oh man, here we go. All right. Oh man. It means a lot. Man, y'all gotta give me a second.
Originally, I just picked this topic as a reason for me to talk about how excited I am for the Snyder Cut. But once I started to do a little digging, it wasn't hard to see how much this film meant to so many people, the actors included. It's not only the story of the director's fight for artistic expression, but the story of so many people from all over the world coming together to support it. It just shows the amazing things you can accomplish when people believe in you. So what do you guys think about this whole thing? Are you as excited for the Snyder Cut as I am? Are you gonna skip out on it because the theatrical version was so bad? What are some movies that got studio interference that you'd love to see a director's cut for? Comment below, let me know. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Casually Opinionated, follow my personal Instagram at Litoswaay, and follow me on Twitter at Litoslife. And I'll see you guys on the next one.